Hey guys, happy Sunday. Today I have an amazing, I want to call him my brother. It's my best friend's husband, John Fischer. And John is the executive chef of Henley's Village Tavern in Brightwaters, New York. And I'm bringing John on today to talk about his experience during this time and how his business has not only pivoted, but you guys are doing some great things, right? Like you're actually
Absolutely.
making it through this.
We are.
Yeah. So I see from Farah, she's super supportive. Your beautiful wife, my sister, my soul sister. I see her, I see your post with tickets in the window and you're hustling and I know a little bit about your background, which we'll get to later, but is there anything you could talk about why you think you've been so successful as of
I
late?
would I would say most importantly is the support from the local communities, the village of Brightwaters in particular, and then the outlying towns of West Islip and Bay Shore have really uh, helped us tremendously and given us consistent business. And you got to make sure the food's good because if it's not good, they're not going to come back and keep ordering it. Um, there was fear when it started getting a lot more serious and people were getting laid off. And are people going to be willing to spend the money? But again, we've just been super fortunate, and we have a really good reputation. So that helps. And more importantly, we're a very small restaurant. So uh, there's only 10 employees that have been in that building since COVID.
Wow.
So we wear masks and gloves, and no one's actually been allowed in the building, um, which is important to us because it keeps us healthy and allows us to do what we do. Um, and we've just been extremely fortunate.
I mean, I'm proud of you and I'm happy for you. And that did my heart good seeing that you are doing great throughout this because I know what it's like in the industry and it's tough out there for a lot of people. But the point that I really want to focus on right now is the fact that you said, if the food's good.
Sure.
And with you being the executive chef, and I'm not trying to, praise you inaccurately, but I just want to let you know that I was talking to my dad, who's also an executive chef, and he's been to the Harvard of cooking schools and done his thing for years. And I know you guys joke around because John actually with Farah comes over every Christmas and every birthday, and they're really a part of our family. And for my dad to say he was talking about you with the brothers at St. Francis Prep this week, and just really, really praising you and your skills and saying like you're the real deal.
Well, coming from Papa D, the biggest one of the biggest compliments you can get. Absolutely.
And
And
he's like, that kid could cook. Like he loves you. So
no, and he's been really great every time I get to talk to him and talk food and talk the business because he's been there and he's experienced so much. One of the other things I wanted to point out is that we do give back, and we give meals to the COVID nurses at Southside and Good Samaritan Hospital. These are free donations, anywhere from 75 to 125 meals. Um, we do that 2 to 3 times a week. So in a small kitchen is very tough to do, but
we spoke about
those are the
that too.
people.
The amount
I
of
mean,
stuff you do in that kitchen. I mean,
right.
that's a whole other, we could talk about that too.
Oh yeah, it's a little sardine tin, but it's my piano, my playground, and it's where the heart of Henley's really is. It's in the food and making sure that people understand that they're welcomed and they're going to eat well and drink well. And we've been successful. And we both look at each other every day when we come into work. I'm talking Dan Kitson, the owner, and say, can you believe this? Can you believe the support we've gotten and how we're able to pay the bills and just survive here, when there's so many restaurants throughout New York State and more specifically the city that, can't operate. So again, it's just a blessing. We're very fortunate, and it's tough. It's hard. And the toughest part is not knowing how we're going to come back from it and how the public's going to react and whether or not you're going to be able to open to full capacity. Because you can't run a restaurant with social distancing. Wait staff and bartenders, that's the whole part of interpersonal reaction and talking to guests and so it's yeah. I mean, so do I miss a packed restaurant and I miss a busy dinner service, but again, it doing what we're doing now, I feel good every day when I put in my shift and put out the food that we're putting out. And we've gotten some excellent feedback from the people that are coming back and ordering food and ordering drinks. It's truly a blessing. It really is.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see that. John, I kind of want to talk about your history in the culinary world. I mean, you have a remarkable story that's different, unique, and I just wanted to touch on, the fact, like, first of all, I want to know what got you interested in food and the art of cooking.
I always, again, out of high school, I didn't really know what I really wanted to do. I liked landscaping. I liked plants, and so I went to Farmingdale and went to study horticulture and landscape design. But when you're a young kid, I just think that you really still don't know what it is, what's your passion, what's going to allow you to wake up in the morning and just be totally overjoyed that this is what you're doing for a living. And it wasn't burlapping trees. So I started working in kitchens and just seeing the environment. And I read a lot. Extraordinary amount of cookbooks and cooking magazines. And this was, prior to the kind of internet boom where now a lot of your content you can just get online. And so I just kind of immersed myself into cooking, and I was encouraged by my parents to go to school and do it. So I applied to a number of culinary schools, and I said, well, the first culinary school that responds, that's where I'm going. And that was, Le Cordon Bleu. So,
and that's in London.
London, England, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, so the journey, my culinary journey has kind of been really just three spots: there, Europe, California, and New York. So, and San Francisco was also a really big culinary city at the time. It was, and it still is, but it was also affordable to live there. It's not anymore, especially for a young cook. It's almost impossible to work and cook in San Francisco now, but some really, really great experiences there. And then I came back to New York and I worked a little bit in Manhattan, and then I started getting executive chef jobs or offers, and I worked my way up, and I truth be told, before I took this job, I didn't know really what I wanted, whether or not I was going to still be on Long Island and he had called me and said, "Oh, I found this place. I'm going to open this restaurant." And I said, "Well, okay." He's like, "Well, come." He gave me the address, and I went, and it was just this beat up bar that was just needed tons of work. And he's like, give me a year." He's like, "I'm telling you, I'm going to make this work." And I said, "All right." So I was doing some, catering and doing what I had to do to survive before I took the job. And we opened 2000. My wife's so much better with dates and times. But 3 years later, here we are, and in the middle of this
Wow, it's been 3
pandemic.
years.
Yeah. And our anniversary actually just passed. It was April 13th is our anniversary. So, and now, now that's what's a key to good business people is being able to adjust to any situation. And that's what he's good at. And I'm good at execution. I'm good at, okay, what are we doing here? Well, let's formulate menus that are easy for us to execute, but at the same time of top quality and tasty, and get people to order it. And we give free gelato out to the kids.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice.
We allow families to come to the back and say hi to the staff that they've known for a long time. And it's not like this big corporate place. It's a very small, close-knit community, and they support small business,
I love
and
that.
that's what's big about it is to have that support from people. And Bright Waters is it sits right next to Bay Shore. Downtown Bay Shore has been completely revitalized the last, I'd say, dozen years, with restaurants and bars, and they've really done almost like the Patchogue of like the South Shore here, and
I love it.
it's been unbelievable. So,
can I just backtrack a little bit? Because your parents are screaming out to me, and how you said they supported you in, going to culinary school. And then, it popped in my head again. One of my favorite parts about your restaurant, aside from everything I've ever had there is out of this world, is the fact that you incorporated your mom in the business.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, my mother is actually, she's a retired nurse, and she always loved baking. And I always thought that she was really, really good at it. So when it came time to start formulating my menus, I said, I can't do desserts. I'm not, it's too technical. I don't have the patience.
Most chefs don't.
And most of them don't. Yeah. And your father would probably attest. So
we have Lizzie.
Right. So I said, well, let's start experimenting with stuff. And she just started going. She just started baking, and she would present stuff to me and say, check this out, see if it would sell at the restaurant. And the rest is history now. We're looking at she's been doing it for probably a year later. She's incorporated. She has her own business. It's called The Fakery, because she's not pretending to be like this huge baker and pastry chef. She's my mom. And
I love that.
So, yeah, she's actually made a business out of it. She's incorporated
and don't get it twisted, y'all. Her desserts are banging.
They're really good. People come for them, so that's a big thing,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Farrah, pop in. We want to see you. I miss you.
Hi.
John's beautiful wife. My best friend in the whole world.
Oh, this is sweet. No, I was just saying how one of the desserts that she helps with, which is the pound cake. I think they've had that recipe in their family for a while, and it was in a newspaper. I forgot or like an article. the pound
Oh, it
cake.
was so Long Island. The dining session did desserts to die for, and we were in the list for her bourbon pound cake.
You
So
have to send me that link after this.
yes, yeah, we'll find it. We
Great.
definitely have it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, she's and just that alone is just so awesome, because my mother's like my biggest cheerleader. Well, with the except my wife, number one, but and then my parents, they're super supportive and they really, believe in me and believe in Henley's and my mother's all the desserts my mother's making since COVID are just donated. She's not charging us for any of them, so we give a lot of them out for free and just it's just part of this process that we're going through, and trying to give back. That's the most important is giving back to the nurses that are at Southside Hospital and Good Sam that are, risking their lives every day. Just giving them good meals to eat, day and night, just doing our part to help and send our love,
Beautiful. It's really remarkable. Well, John, I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me, Jen.
I just love you both and your family to me. And I'm curious because I know obviously I have a lot of friends in the area. What's some kind of things that I know you put together, like a football package for the food pickup, takeout, and then can people go on your website? How do they order food?
The best way to order is actually to call. Menus are posted on our social media daily. They usually pop up around 3:00, and then the phone does not stop ringing until 7:30. We cut it off at 8. So
you go home to wifey.
Yeah, and I get to go. I'm spending a lot more time actually with the wife because I'm not there 12, 14 hours a day. It's a precise menus that we can execute at certain period of time. And so those menus, you can go to Henley's Village Tavern on Facebook, or at Henley's Village Tavern is the Instagram handle. And they're posted daily. We have stories going all the time.
Are you still doing scratch menus?
So basically, we were calling them COVID menus, and we change them daily, every day.
Wow, you guys are rock stars. That's dope.
Yes, but it also it keeps us from being monotonous, and I don't lose my mind because I need to be constantly creating and doing different things. I can't do the same thing over and over again. I just and
I hear you loud and clear.
We're getting the feedback from the local community, so it's just been great.
I love that so much. Is there anything you could share with everybody, just in your opinion, that's helped you along the way during this time?
What I would say is that, this is a serious thing. And I think in the beginning, a lot of people took it for granted. And this has affected my family. I lost my grandfather.
I'm so sorry.
Through COVID. So, I think a lot of people lose sight of it, and if it doesn't directly impact you, you don't have that full feel for it. And I'm to say that it wasn't until I lost my grandfather and visit my grandmother through a glass window where I'm like, wow, this is really, really serious, and it's not to be taken lightly. And every day I'm blessed that I'm healthy and my wife is healthy, and you have to keep grinding through, and eventually we'll get over that hump and hopefully get back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Seriously, I love you guys. Farrah, can you come say goodbye?
Bye. Thank you for having us. It was so much fun.
Thanks,
Love you guys so much. Stay on. I want to chat with you for another minute.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Okay.